Hi, how are you? This is JilliBling. I have another project using Peace on Earth bundle. Actually, it's the product suite. So here's the project. And this is the second project I did. I plan on making 3 using this bundle. So this is number 2, and this is more of a Christmas. Because see how the doves are carrying a green and red envelope? Here is project number 1, and this is a sympathy card. Isn't that pretty? I love the papers. So that's project number 1. This video is already tutorial, it's already out there. So we'll be using Peace on Earth bundle and also textured notes dies for these rectangles right here. I just love this card. Okay. So we will be using the Charming Shimmer Faceted Gems. These are in Secret Sea. And when putting them on the card, excuse me, I was thinking, well, I want to put them around on the focal point. But I like how classic and simple this is. So I put them right here next to this little sideways greeting. And I think they work just fine there. So we'll use those in a minute. Here are the papers we need to make the project. We'll be using the trimmer too. The trimmer is for the cloud cover insert, and it has 3 score lines on it. Let me hold it in the right direction so you can see how it folds. And I have tips for assembling the card to make sure you have some success with it. Not that it's that hard, but if you're making it, just watch to that part, or you could fast forward to that part. So this bundle is on page 33, I guess 32. Look how pretty. And if you make all these samples, I know you're going to love it. It's so pretty. And it's also extended to the next 2 pages. And look at this one. This one is not holiday at all. Still, I love it. It's such a pretty bundle. Actually, it's a product suite. So we'll be using silver foil paper, and that is for this branch right here. And Traditions of Christmas. This is where this striped paper comes from, and also this with the dots on it. And it's so hard to put glue on the beautiful side of the paper because this paper is foiled, which means that this one has foil on it. Each top sheet has foil on it. Foiling details. But each one of them is just so pretty. And I think there's 2 dies that go with this suite, and I think one of them cuts out quite a few of the images on the designer paper. We'll be using this one, and we will be putting glue on this side. Cringe! Look how nice those go together. It's beautiful paper. Last year we had golden greenery paper, and that was beautiful too. I think this one is equally beautiful. This one, I know that there's a die to cut out this bouquet. Imagine making your Christmas cards and having all of your bouquets cut out with the die and the coloring already done, the stamping already done, and it has the foiling on it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're using that one. It's just hard to put glue on paper that's so pretty. Those go perfectly together. Everything goes well together. Because even this one, the Secret Sea, I could see it back in the background on here. Oh, that's pretty. I'm looking at the Secret Sea with this one. That's so pretty. Okay, so we'll be using that paper. Oh, and the velvet paper. This is velvet paper, and it comes in a package of 6, and included in the package is 3 colors. white. I think that's cherry cobbler. And I think this is between garden green and shaded spruce. When you look at their description, they call it green, red, white. But we'll be using a little bit of each of these sheets for the velvet doves and a green envelope and a red envelope to say holiday. Peace, love, and joy. Wishing you peace on earth. I don't know if the wishing you goes well there. Maybe today I just won't add on that wishing you because it's 2 stamps. And then of course, the glimmer paper. So the glimmer paper comes in 3 colors. It's a package of 6. So you get 2 sheets. I think this is Blueberry Bushel. I think this is Secret Sea. And this is the last color right down here. And they call it blue, dark gray, soft green. But I think this is Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Blueberry Bushel. I'd say just take all of your blue colors, stamp with them, and it all goes together. Okay, you ready? So, let's see what dies we have. So, on the velvet paper, when I put this on my machine and I cut it out 2 times, I had it all lined up, had it all sitting there, put the top on straight, and then all of a sudden it was scooched over. I don't think that this paper is at all slick or slippery, but because it happened 2 times and I was getting a little frustrated, take a piece of washi tape, wrap it around to just the regular paper side, and that seemed to fix the problem. So two doves, and then the cutest ever little envelope die cuts out 2 little envelopes. How cute is that? I'm thinking it'd be really nice in foil paper too. But today, because I'm going with the Christmas theme, I'm going to do one in green and another one in the cherry cobbler. So I got those, this to cut out, and then the branch, and look how detailed that is. It turns out really pretty. Cut that out in silver. So here's the pieces. And the cutest ever little envelopes. We'll only use 1 of the green and 1 of the cherry. These I'll use on another project, if I could pick them up. They're really tiny. Okay, and the dies, we'll get to the dies for the front to make this whole in just a minute. Okay, so let's just start building the card. We'll use the trimmer in just a minute. And that's just for scoring that cloud cover piece. Okay, so we'll start with the base, fold it in half. And designer paper, the striped one, is going to go on here. So when you're attaching your striped paper, whatever adhesive you have is just fine. Whether you like glue or the Stampin' seal, whatever you like, it's fine. But you want to cover much of the back. There's a reason for that. And see, I'm not being completely thorough, but there's glue all over there. And attach that. Right in the center. Okay, now let's take the larger die, smaller and larger, and put it onto the front, centered. I'm not measuring it or anything, I'm just looking at how much is at top, bottom, how much is side, side, and to me that looks pretty equal. Because it has the diagonal pattern on it, it's a little bit deceiving, so I'm looking at the edge of the card just to try to get it centered. Okay, I'll open this up because we don't want to cut through to the back. Okay, and I'm going to run that through my machine. So here it is, and this piece you could use for a future project, but we're not going to use it today. Okay, so the reason that I had you put glue all over the designer paper was because if you just put it around the perimeter over here, it would possibly be separating, especially if the dye runs through and the paper is a little bit warped. So that's why I had you put glue everywhere so that this doesn't separate. I noticed I didn't get a good die cut right there. Okay. Okay, so we have that. So these pieces here, the Misty Moonlight and the Glimmer paper, are for right here, the front panel. So then I'm going to use that same large die for the Misty Moonlight and the die just a little bit smaller for the Glimmer paper. And I have all the products used in the video description, and also at the bottom I have the paper cut sizes for this one and the first project and the third project eventually. And I'll put photos on my blog, which is JilliBling.com. And then this is the larger die. I'm going to cut out the larger die in the Misty Moonlight and a little bit smaller die in the Glimmer paper. And again, that's for these pieces right here. So here they are. Cute little detail on them. There is detailed on the Glimmer paper. Because it's so shiny, it's hard to see it. But these, I could just attach those since they're here in my hand. We're out of dies, which means everything is cut. So I'm just going to put this in the center. Okay. And these papers are for right here in the middle. So I'll attach those together. So pretty. Baby Warren is sleeping right now. He sleeps for an hour and a half, and I had time to shower and get over here. Okay, that looks good. It's centered. Because it's kind of tone on tone, you don't have to be all that precise. Okay, so for the cloud cover paper, let's do the scoring. So the paper size is 5 by 7 7/8. I'm going to score it at 2, 4, and 6. And that will be listed in the video description, so no need to write that down. Okay. You see the top? Yeah. Okay, scored at 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so the smaller piece, the one that's just a little bit shorter of all these panels, and if you're looking at the panels in person, you're like, I don't remember which one is shorter. Once you start folding on the score lines, you'll see that one is shorter. The shorter one is going to go right here. So there's a little bit of a gap from where the cloud cover is to the crease. So this one is here. So fold that way, this way, and then this one goes down. And see how that's a little bit shorter? That's part of the plan. If it was the same size, things will kind of jam up on each other. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm looking up at the camera to make sure that you can see the shape of it. This piece is going to go right back on here. This piece It's right here. This piece. And then this flat one is for the greeting. Okay. So let's stamp Peace on Earth here, just because it's nice and flat, and it's definitely better than trying to stamp it while it's in the card, like I did. Not so good. Okay, so I'm going to use Versamark, and this time I'm going to say, instead of wishing you peace on earth, I'm just going to do peace on earth. And I'm using the new embossing powders, which are very nice. They're very bright, but I'd suggest don't heat it too long, just until it turns shiny, and then take the heat off of it, because I think I heated mine too long. I thought I was being careful, because some of the shine, I think it got too hot and the shine dissipated. There it is. See, this one turned out a lot better. Can you see the shine on that? It's so pretty. Oh, right there. Ooh. Okay, and then to stamp the peace, love, and joy, on the sample card, I felt that I needed to have it all assembled, and I stamped it while the card was put together. But because you have the benefit of one that's already put together, just know to stamp it midpoint and a little bit up from the crease. So that is going to be stamped on this panel right here. When you look at the 4 panels, trying to get it in a direction you can see it. Not on this one, it's going to tuck back behind on the second one. So there's one empty panel in between. That might be a better way to say it. Right? I'm basing it off the score line, and it's kind of hard to see the score line. And because this is not assembled yet, if you do a mess up, you could still flip the paper over. I know you don't mess things up. I mess things up. That's convenient. Oh, that one turned out really pretty. Okay, this turned out much better than the sample. But just, I think if you're aware that if you heat it too long, it kind of gets not so pretty. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. See if you could tell. Hold it in the right angle. Okay, so you can see this one here. See how some of the shine has kind of been cooked out of it? But this one, it's all, everything is all shiny. Okay, so we know that this panel goes here, and that just gets stuck on. Right in the middle. Okay, I'll put the beautifulness on the silver branch. The next card is going to be a wedding card. This bundle is so nice because it could be for Christmas, sympathy, or wedding. So the next one will be wedding. And that one's going to have gold hints on it. Okay, this just goes right in the middle. Okay. Okay, so to put this together, first of all, we need this piece of Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight goes right back here. That's for this piece right here. Just a layer. You know, layers are good. Layers make it look like you're all professional. They just bring all the colors together. Okay, so now to assemble this, I'm going to put glue all over the piece on earth, the bottom panel. I'm going to get that in place here, just so that the perimeter is all equal. And before the glue dries, I'm going to lay it out flat and make sure that the top up here is square and it's equal with the bottom. That looks pretty good. Okay, so this first panel is going to be stuck to right here. So to do that, put glue along this inside edge. And remember how there's a little bit of a gap in the cloud cover piece? So see how I'm not getting right next to the edges? I'll hold this up here in a minute. But I know I want it to go right here. Okay. So see how there's glue there, but I'm not getting right into the crease and I'm not going right out to the edges because I know that the cloud cover paper doesn't go there. And just gonna lay that down and close the door. So after this has just a second to dry, I'll show you once again what pieces are stuck down and what pieces are free. So looking at it from here, the cloud cover piece is stuck to the underside of the front window. Now you could see why I didn't put glue way up to here, and I didn't put glue way down here, because the cloud cover piece does not go there. Okay, looks like I put it a little bit too far. Not liking that. Because it's still wet, I might be able to remove some of that. That's kind of lucky. And that will be seen on the card, so I really want it to be gone. That's just kind of peeling the paper up. But I think having the paper peeled up is better than having Secret C paper on there. Okay, I just have to decorate it really hard. Okay, so here's that. And you could see that it works just fine. Okay, so now there's this piece here with the Misty Moonlight and the glimmer paper on it, and I'm going to attach it to this side only, not this side. Panel number 2 with the words is where I'm going to attach it. So here's the words. So I'm going to attach, but glue only on this side, panel number 2. I've made a few of these cards before, and I know a few of you were doing it and you messed up by putting glue on the other panel. So that's why I'm being a little bit slow and deliberate by showing you. Okay, so there's glue on panel number 2 only, not on panel number 1. And I'm going to take this piece, put it right into that little pocket, that little hole, die cut hole. Okay, so it's like, oh, it looks like a regular card, but we know it's fancy. And look at that. There it is. And that worked out pretty good. Okay, so now it's just time to decorate with these doves. That's a washi tape. You know how I wrapped it around. I know it's on the underside, but I know it's there. Okay, so to attach the dove, I'm going to put mini dimensionals under his wings and his tail. And then I'll put glue on his tummy, chest, and most of his head. Not all of it, because I still have to attach that little envelope. So glue on his tummy, chest, and most of his head. And this bottom dove, maybe I should do them in a different order. No, just because it looks like he's looking up at the sky. I think I like it better like this. So the bottom dove has to fully be on the glimmer paper and the Misty Moonlight paper. Otherwise it will impede the movement of the card base. Okay, and before it dries too much, I'm going to take a little envelope, put a dimensional under the end of it, and the part of the envelope that's going to be stuck under his beak, I'm going to put on with glue. So I know it's really small. Glue right here. And I'm going to pull up his beak a little bit and put it right there. And you know, the funniest thing is trying to get the angle. And right now I'm just worried about the glue sticking to the glimmer paper. Then later I'll really press down on the dimensional. But to get the angle of the envelope coming from the bird, I struggled the longest time with that. So feel free just to copy this angle or have at it. It's just, it's a little bit of a change in the angle makes all the difference in a good way and a bad way. Okay, so this dove gets the same treatment. Dimensionals under the wings, under the tail, and then glue on the tummy, chest, and a little bit of the head. Because once again, we're going to stick the envelope in. So this bird, on the other hand, that reminds me of talking to Warren. This piggy went to market. This piggy stayed home. This bird can be outside the frame. Because when you look at the movement, it's okay if it's outside the frame. Because here, it just lays on top of the side of the frame. Okay, let's take care of this envelope before things dry. One dimensional. And glue. Oh, this one is opposite. Okay, I can fix that. Dimensional on this side and glue on this side. Then I did it upside down, so it goes the other way, the way I initially had it. I just want glue under the beak. Ooh, that one came out pretty good. So there, it's like he's holding it. Okay, and I'll really push down the dimensional part later, after it dries. Okay. Isn't that pretty? It's velvet. Okay, so I think all we have to do is the 2 bling, and that's it. 2 mini shimmery gems. Right here. And another one, because they're so pretty. That one could go right here. Okay, that's it for today's project. What do you think? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Imagine that sitting on your tabletop. Okay, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.